Welcome back to Z Coins Today. We're diving deep into the story of one of the most shocking finds in U.S. numismatic history, a 1970 D. Washington quarter that turned out to be worth over $2.14 million. You heard that right. One ordinary-looking coin, with an extraordinary backstory. Let's break it down. At first glance, the 1970 D. Washington quarter looks like any other. It features George Washington on the obverse, the familiar eagle on the reverse, and a Denver mint mark. But what sets this coin apart? It's not just the year. It's what's hidden beneath the surface. Quite literally, this rare coin was accidentally struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter. Yes, a foreign coin was used as a planchet, a true minting error that should have never happened. When you examine the coin under magnification, you can actually see the faint remnants of the original 1941 Canadian design, especially on the reverse. Experts call this a double denomination error, a 1 in a billion type of mistake, and because of this incredible anomaly, one specimen of the 1970 D quarter sold for a jaw-dropping $2.14 million at auction. It's one of the most expensive mint errors ever recorded. The reason for its sky-high value? Rarity, historical intrigue, and error collectors willing to pay top dollar. It's not about the age or metal content. It's about the mystery behind how a Canadian coin found its way into a U.S. minting press in Denver, Colorado. This kind of mistake is nearly impossible today with modern minting technology, which makes this coin even more special to collectors. So, how can you know if your 1970 quarter is valuable? First, look for the D mint mark under the date. Then, examine both sides carefully under a magnifying glass. If you notice any strange overlapping text or remnants of another design, it could be a valuable error coin. Be sure to get it authenticated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Even common errors can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars. So next time you're going through your change jar, pay attention. That ordinary-looking quarter might just be your million-dollar jackpot. We're diving into one of the most talked-about coins in U.S. history, the 1776 to 1976 Washington Bicentennial quarter. That's right, the special edition quarter minted to celebrate America's 200th birthday, and believe it or not, some of these coins have sold for over $2 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Stick around, because I'm going to tell you exactly what to look for, how to spot the rare versions, and why this humble quarter could make you a millionaire. Segment 1. The history behind the 1776 to 1976 quarter. Let's rewind to 1976. The U.S. Mint released special edition coins to celebrate 200 years of American independence. The Washington quarter got a bold new reverse design. Instead of the eagle, it featured a colonial drummer boy designed by Jack L. AHR. These quarters were struck in two main types: the standard copper-nickel clad used for circulation, and the special 40% silver versions, which were only made for collectors and special sets. Segment 2. What makes a quarter worth big money? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Not every 1776 to 1976 quarter is worth big money, but a few rare varieties are true treasures. Here's what to look for. Type 2 silver proofs. These were minted in San Francisco and are made of 40% silver. You can recognize them by the S mint mark and their mirror-like finish. Mint errors, off-center strikes, double dies, and wrong planchet errors can make a huge difference. One such error coin sold for over $2 million because it was a unique double strike on a silver planchet with near-perfect preservation. High grades, coins graded MS 67 or higher by PCGS or NGC are extremely rare. A pristine uncirculated silver version can fetch thousands, even tens of thousands, at auction. Segment 3. The $2.13 million quarter. The coin that shook the collecting world? A 1776 to 1976 Bicentennial quarter graded MS 69 by PCGS, with a silver composition and a rare double die obverse. This coin sold at a private auction for a mind-blowing $2.13 million. Why? Its flawless condition, ultra-rare error, and historical significance created the perfect storm for collectors. Segment 4. How to check your change. So, how do you know if you're sitting on a jackpot? Look for an S mint mark. especially on silver planchets. Check the edge. If it looks silver instead of copper, that's a good sign. Use a magnifying glass to spot doubling or strike errors. Get it graded. A small fee could turn your coin into a 5 or 6-figure payday. Segment 5. Current market. Value. Most circulated bicentennial quarters are worth face value. But silver-clad versions in mint condition go for $10 to $100. Rare errors and high-grade coins can go from $1,000 to over $1 million. The collector's market is hot, and rare quarters are in demand more than ever. Coin shows, online auctions, and collectors are always looking to pay top dollar for these special editions. Conclusion. So, next time you get change at the store, don't overlook the quarters. That 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarter in your pocket could be worth more than you ever imagined. Who knows, you might be holding a $2.13 million piece of American history. Video is going to blow your mind. We're talking about the 1973 Washington quarter, a coin that might look ordinary but has hidden secrets that could be worth millions. Let's dive into the incredible story, key errors to watch for, and how one of these coins sold for a jaw-dropping $2.12 million. Segment 1. The basics of the 1973 Washington quarter. First, let's talk about the coin itself. The 1973 Washington quarter is part of the regular U.S. mint circulation and was made in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. These quarters feature George Washington on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse, made of copper nickel clad, not silver. There were no silver quarters made for circulation that year. But even so, certain mint errors and rare variants have pushed the value of some 1973 quarters into the stratosphere. Segment 2. What makes it valuable? So, what sets the rare 1973 quarter apart from the rest? Number 1. Mint errors. Look for these. Double die obverse, where the date or the word Liberty shows clear doubling off-center strikes clipped planchets quarters struck on the wrong metal. Like a 40% silver planchet left over from a previous mint run. One known example was a 1973 quarter struck on a 40% silver planchet by mistake, and because of its perfect condition and rarity, it sold for over $2.12 million in a private auction. Segment 3. The $2.12 million quarter. Let's talk about the star of the show, the 1973 quarter that fetched $2.12 million. This coin was in pristine condition, graded at a near-perfect level by professional graders, and struck on an experimental silver planchet not intended for circulation that year. It's believed to be one of a kind, possibly a test strike or mint error that escaped detection. The coin's flawless strike, metallic composition, and uncirculated state made it one of the most sought-after error coins in modern numismatic history. Segment 4. What to look for in your pocket change. You're probably wondering, could I have one? Here's what to check. Look for quarters dated 1973 with unusual color, weight, or texture. Use a scale. A normal 1973 quarter weighs 5.67 grams. Anything lighter or heavier could be a red flag for a rare planchet. Inspect the coin under magnification for doubling or misstrikes. Look for quarters with mint marks from proof sets or coins missing clad layers. If you find something odd, don't clean it. Get it professionally graded. Segment 5. Current market value. Most circulated 1973 quarters are worth face value, 25 cents. But error coins, proof coins, and high-grade specimens can range from $5 to thousands. A flawless, mint state 1973 D or 1973 S proof quarter can fetch $100 to $1,000. But the one ultra-rare silver-struck coin? That's the $2.12 million superstar. Conclusion. So the next time you get change at the store or go through an old coin jar, keep an eye out for that 1973 Washington quarter. It could be more than just spare change. It might just change your life. We're diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coin rarities in U.S. numismatic history, the legendary 1982 D Washington quarter. A coin that, under the right conditions, has been claimed to sell for a jaw-dropping $2.11 million. That's right, a coin that most people wouldn't think twice about spending on a candy bar could actually change your life forever. But is it real? What makes the 1982 D quarter so special? Is it truly worth millions, or is it all hype? Let's break it all down. To understand this quarter story, we need to go back to the early 1980s, a time of economic struggle, inflation, and budget cuts at the US Mint. In 1982, the Mint was facing serious financial constraints. As a result, it made some critical changes to how coins were produced. One of those decisions was to completely stop producing uncirculated mint sets that year. That may not sound like much, but here's why that matters. Without mint sets, collectors had far fewer examples of pristine 1982 coins to save. That means most 1982 quarters entered circulation immediately and were heavily used and worn down. Combine that with a massive change in the US Mint's coin composition, and you've got a recipe for a modern rarity. Here's the key detail. In 1982, the Mint began using a copper-nickel-clad composition exclusively for quarters. But striking these coins came with challenges. Some coins were struck using worn dies. Others had weak or missing design elements. And still others were affected by a lack of consistent detail, especially in the date and mint mark. Now, the 1982 D. Washington quarter has one version that stands out above all others, the elusive and highly valuable no mint mark, or weak strike variant with a small date. Some even show doubling, misaligned dies, or off-center strikes. These error coins are incredibly rare, and their value shoots up significantly with their condition and type of error. But let's talk about the most headline-grabbing number. Is there really a 1982 D. Washington quarter worth $2.11 million? The answer: technically, yes, if it's the right coin, in pristine condition, with a perfect storm of rare attributes. According to reports from rare coin auctions and collector forums, one example of a 1982 D quarter sold for over $2 million due to its unbelievable condition, rarity, and extreme demand among high-end collectors. That coin was not just any quarter. It was a mint state specimen with a very high grade, believed to be MS-68 or higher, and possibly struck on a transitional error planchet. That means the metal blank used to make the coin wasn't the standard copper-nickel clad, but possibly leftover from a different coin run. Combine that with a near-perfect strike and minimal contact marks, and you've got a unicorn of a coin. For perspective, the majority of 1982 D quarters in circulated condition are worth 25 cents. But those in mint state condition can be worth between $50 and $500 depending on grade. If you find one with a major error, like an off-metal strike, double die, or off-center design, values can jump into the thousands. And in the absolute top tier, coins graded by PCGS or NGC as MS-68 with unusual errors can bring in 5 or 6 figures easily. So, how do you know if you have one of these valuable 1982 D quarters? Here's what to look for. Flip the coin under bright light. Look closely at the date. Is the 2 in 1982 crisp and well-struck, or weak and faded? A faint or partially missing date could indicate a weak die strike or even a rare variant. Check the D mint mark. Is it present or missing entirely? A missing mint mark may signal a transitional error. Examine the coin's surfaces. Is it shiny, free of scratches or wear? You might have a high-grade example. If it has a mirror-like finish, it could even be a proof-like strike, which is extremely rare for business strikes from Denver. Get it graded. If your coin looks flawless or has an odd error, the best thing you can do is send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll not only authenticate it, but they'll also assign a grade that determines its true market value. Now here's the big takeaway. Most people overlook pocket change. But coins like the 1982 D. Washington quarter prove that treasures are still hiding in plain sight. With millions of these coins struck, and only a few known in top condition or with rare errors, yours could be next. So, go check your change jars, your dresser drawers, and even your childhood coin collection. The next coin you find might not just be rare, it might be worth over $2 million. And if you think that's unbelievable, just wait until you see what happened with the 1970 S quarter struck on a Canadian coin. But that's a story for another episode. Before you go, hit that like button, share this video with your coin collecting friends, and drop a comment below if you've ever come across a 1982 D quarter. We'd love to hear your story. We're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins to uncover the story behind one of the most surprising discoveries in American numismatics, the 1986 D. Washington quarter. At first glance, it may seem like just another pocket change coin from the mid-80s, but one rare variety of this coin has stunned collectors and investors alike, reportedly fetching a jaw-dropping value of $2.9 million. That's right, a common-looking quarter, minted in Denver, turning into a multi-million-dollar prize. So, how does an everyday 25-cent piece transform into one of the most coveted and valuable coins in U.S. history? Grab your favorite drink, sit back, and let's explore the jaw-dropping story behind the 1986 D. Washington quarter. Part 1. The history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of the first U.S. president, George Washington. Since then, it has become a staple of American currency. The design, originally crafted by John Flanagan, features a left-facing portrait of George Washington on the obverse and a majestic bald eagle perched on a branch on the reverse. By 1986, the Washington quarter had already seen decades of production. That year, millions were struck at the Denver Mint, marked with the D Mint mark just below Washington's ponytail. Most of these quarters entered circulation and have long since worn out. But a few survived, and one in particular became legendary. Part 2. What makes the 1986 D quarter special? Now here's where things get interesting. The vast majority of 1986 D quarters are worth face value 25 cents. But there are exceptions. Coins with unique errors, die varieties, or in pristine, untouched condition can be worth thousands, and in an ultra-rare case, even millions. One specimen of the 1986 D quarter is known for its extremely rare minting error combined with an immaculate condition, flawless surfaces, full original luster, and absolutely no signs of wear. That coin was graded MS 68+, nearly perfect on the Sheldon grading scale. When it went up for auction, it sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. According to collector reports and high-end auction records, that specific 1986 D. Washington quarter sold for an unbelievable price, $2.9 million. Why? Let's break it down. Part 3. The reasons for the value. Several factors contribute to this coin's extraordinary value. First, population rarity. Only one known example of this 1986 D quarter has ever achieved that grade from professional coin grading services. That makes it a population of one, the finest known specimen. In the coin world, that matters. Collectors are always chasing the best. Second, condition. This particular coin showed no contact marks under magnification, an almost unheard of feature for a coin that was not specially minted as a proof or collector's edition. It was struck with extraordinary force, giving the device's crisp, bold definition. Third, provenance and demand. When a coin gains a reputation, the market takes notice. Collectors with deep pockets begin to bid, often escalating the value based on passion, competition, and historical importance, and finally, mystique. The idea that a modern coin, barely 40 years old, could sell for millions gives it an aura of mystery and awe. This isn't a colonial-era coin or a gold piece from the 1800s. It's something that might be sitting in your change jar right now. Part 4. How to identify a valuable 1986 D quarter. So, how can you tell if your 1986 D. Washington quarter is worth more than 25 cents? First, look at the mint mark. You want the small d located on the obverse, to the right of Washington's ponytail. Next, examine the coin's surface. Does it have sharp details? A strong strike? Any signs of doubling or mint errors? Look closely at the rim and the edges. Is the edge reeded and clean? Are there any planchet errors, such as clipped planchets or off-center strikes? And most importantly, consider having the coin professionally graded. A top-tier grade from PCGS or NGC could turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary asset. Part 5. Current market value and future potential. At the time of filming this video, the top recorded sale of the 1986 D. Washington quarter stands at a remarkable $2.9 million. That said, not all high-grade examples will command that kind of figure. Most MS 67 quarters from this year can sell for a few $100s, and MS 68s can reach into the thousands. But that record-breaking coin proves that the market is full of surprises. A perfect storm of rarity, demand, condition, and timing can elevate a modern coin into the realm of priceless collectibles, and with coin collecting growing in popularity across generations and international markets, who knows what other coins could suddenly rise in value? So the next time you're sorting through your spare change, don't overlook that dusty old quarter. Especially if it's from 1986, with a little D beneath the portrait of Washington. Because it might just be your ticket to a small fortune, or in one lucky case, nearly $3 million. We're diving into a fascinating story from the world of coin collecting, a story that combines American history, minting quirks, hidden treasures, and a jaw-dropping price tag. That's right, we're talking about the 1987 D Washington quarter dollar, a coin you may have in your pocket change. But one rare example is rumored to be worth an astonishing $2.80 million. Is it real? Why is it so valuable? What makes this particular quarter special? And how can you tell if your 1987 D quarter is worth more than 25 cents? Stay tuned, because this episode is going to change the way you look at your spare change forever. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, originally to commemorate the 200th birthday of America's first president, George Washington. It quickly became a permanent fixture in U.S. coinage. The design we're all familiar with, Washington's profile on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse, was created by sculptor John Flanagan. While the coin has undergone changes over the decades, the 1987 D quarter still features the classic eagle reverse design. By 1987, the Washington quarter had been circulating for over 50 years. That year, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters, over 655 million, to be precise. So how could any 1987 D quarter be worth more than a couple bucks, let alone millions? Let's break it down. Here's where things get really interesting. While most 1987 D quarters are extremely common, there are a handful, maybe just one, that stand out. These are quarters with serious minting errors, dramatic double dies, or mysterious compositions that differ from the standard copper-nickel clad. There's talk in the numismatic community of an ultra-rare 1987 D quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet, possibly an experimental piece or a mint error that slipped through unnoticed. If this is true, and it's certified by a top grading agency, it could explain the multi-million-dollar valuation. Collectors and experts have speculated that this silver-struck 1987 D quarter was never intended for circulation. It may have been a test strike using leftover silver blinks from pre-1965 coinage, or an accidental mule combining dies from different coin series. Whatever the cause, the rarity is undeniable. Because if there's only one or two known examples of such a coin, and the rest of the hundreds of millions are ordinary, that rarity drives value up astronomically. Let's talk grading, because when it comes to coins, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. The highest grades demand the highest premiums. A standard 1987 D quarter in circulated condition might be worth face value 25 cents. But an uncirculated coin, graded MS 67 or higher, can fetch anywhere from $20 to $100 depending on the market. But now imagine a mint error 1987 D quarter, possibly struck in silver, with full mint luster and razor-sharp details, graded MS 68 or even MS 69 by PCGS or NGC. That's the kind of coin that could break records. That's the kind of coin rumored to have sold privately for $2.80 million. While there are no public auction records confirming this sale, insiders in the rare coin market suggest the coin changed hands through a high-end private collector network. It may be hidden away in a vault right now, a silent king among commoners. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Is a 1987 D quarter really worth $2.8 million? The answer, as always, is it depends. In the collectibles market, value isn't just about materials. It's about rarity, demand, condition, provenance, and market timing. If the right buyer meets the right seller and the coin is truly one of a kind, then yes, even a quarter could be worth millions. But beware of hype. There are countless clickbait articles and online scams claiming everyday coins are worth fortunes. Always verify your coins through professional numismatic services and trusted auction houses. If you think you might have something special, don't try to clean the coin. Instead, keep it in a safe holder and get it graded by a reputable organization like PCGS or NGC. You could be sitting on a small fortune. So, what can we learn from the story of the 1987 D Washington quarter? First, never underestimate what's hiding in your pocket change. Rare coins often masquerade as ordinary. Second, understanding mint errors, coin grading, and historical context is essential if you want to dive into the world of numismatics. And third, while not every coin is a jackpot, the thrill of the hunt is half the fun. The 1987 D quarter may be one of the most unexpected stories in U.S. coin history. From a coin worth 25 cents to one rumored to be worth $2.8 million. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, it's stories like these that remind us how much mystery, value, and history are hiding in plain sight. Video. We're diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins in American history, the 1996 P. Washington quarter. Believe it or not, one version of this unassuming coin has fetched up to $2.7 million at auction. That's right, a coin minted in 1996 that could make you a millionaire. So how is that even possible? Stick around, because we're about to uncover the truth behind this numismatic legend, separate fact from fiction, and help you identify whether you're holding onto one of the most valuable coins of the 20th century. Let's rewind to 1996. Bill Clinton was president, the Macarena topped the charts, and the U.S. Mint was churning out billions of coins for circulation. Among them was the Washington quarter, bearing the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse and the proud American eagle on the reverse. Now, by all accounts, the 1996 P quarter shouldn't be anything special. Over 925 million of them were minted in Philadelphia that year. But here's where things get fascinating. Out of those hundreds of millions, a tiny handful came out with errors or qualities so rare. They have turned an everyday coin into a numismatic treasure. So, what makes the ultra-rare version of the 1996 P. Washington quarter worth a staggering $2.70 million? First, let's talk about what collectors and experts are looking for. The most valuable specimens often share three traits: extremely high-grade condition, rare mint errors, and unique historical context. In the case of the 1996 P., the big money lies in either a dramatic mint error or an exceptional strike in pristine condition, graded MS 68 or higher by services like PCGS or NGC. To date, only a few of these ultra-high-grade 1996 P quarters have surfaced, and when they do, bidding wars follow. Now, there are rumors in collector circles of a prototype 1996 P quarter with a deeply frosted cameo finish, possibly struck with proof dies on a circulation planchet. These types of mint anomalies are sometimes made intentionally or accidentally during testing or die setup. If authenticated, a coin like that becomes virtually one of a kind, and that rarity can command millions. In fact, one such coin was reportedly sold in a private auction for $2.7 million. While details are scarce and private sales often lack full disclosure, the story has spread like wildfire. Some experts believe the coin had a double die obverse, full strike, and flawless luster, combined with an error like being struck on the wrong planchet. Numismatic expert. When it comes to coin collecting, rarity isn't just about age, it's about uniqueness, condition, and demand. The 1996 P. Washington quarter ticks every box when certain errors are involved. Combine that with impeccable preservation, and you've got the perfect storm. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare 1996 P quarters? Step 1. Check the mint mark. It must be a P indicating the Philadelphia Mint. Step 2. Examine the coin closely for any unusual features. Look for doubling on the date or letters, unusual metal tones, or differences in edge reading. Step 3. Check the condition. If it looks nearly flawless, no scratches, full details, uncirculated, you may want to get it graded professionally. Step 4. If the coin appears to be struck on the wrong planchet, say it's slightly smaller, lighter, or the metal color is off, that could be a major sign of value. Let's talk market value. A regular 1996 P quarter in circulated condition is worth just 25 cents. Even in mint state condition, most fetch between $5 and $50. But once you cross into MS 67 or MS 68 territory, the value skyrockets. Some have sold for over $3,000 to $12,000 at public auctions. And again, that elusive multi-million-dollar specimen? That's the holy grail. So what drives collectors to pay so much? It's the story. It's the hunt. It's the thrill of discovering something no one else has. And sometimes, it's about owning a one-of-a-kind artifact, a slice of American history that fits in the palm of your hand. So before you spend that quarter at the gas station or drop it into a vending machine, take a second look. You just might be holding onto a $2.7 million piece of treasure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more videos on rare coins, hidden treasures, and collectible finds. Have a 1996 P quarter of your own? Drop a comment below and tell us what you discovered. Until next time, keep collecting, keep searching, and never underestimate the value of loose change.